The Resistance is reborn, plus we have Darth Vader having more nightmares on this episode of Star Wars Weekly. Hello fellow Star Wars fans, it is Starrapter and welcome back to the channel. But if you are new, that's a very special welcome to you guys because I talk about Star Wars on a weekly basis. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any of that content. With that being said, we are just a few short weeks away from the Rise of Skywalker, but we have a brand new book to tide us over, and that is Journey to Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, written by Rebecca Roanhorse. I did also get the Barnes & Noble edition, which came with these really cool bookmarks. There you go, double-sided. So this one takes place immediately after the events of The Last Jedi. So we see that the Resistance is in shambles. They're on the Millennium Falcon. They're going who knows where, but they need more allies. So this book really bridges the gap. It's about a 1-year gap between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. So we see in The Rise of Skywalker trailers, they have entire armadas, all these allies. So this book really goes into starting at ground zero and really just building up their old allies like Wedge Antilles. We have a couple older people in there. Not going to give that away, but I really do like the connections to the other pieces of canon material, such as from Lost Stars, Bloodline, Aftermath. We even have the video games like Jedi Fallen Order. It's not even out yet, and there's a big connection to that game. There's also a connection to Battlefront 2 where we have Zay and Shriv. So there's just so much awesome stuff. And then getting into the mentality of the characters such as Leia, what she's going through after losing so many people, including her brother, and also about Poe Dameron especially, who was atoning for his mutiny and all that in The Last Jedi against Holdo and Leia. So right now, I'm about 1/3 left from finishing the book, but what I can say, if you are kind of waiting out my review, just go ahead and buy this because I highly recommend it. You're going to want to read this before you see The Rise of Skywalker. I'm telling you guys, this thing is one of those crucial books you're going to want to read, kind of like how Catalyst was, the prequel to Rogue One. This is an essential prequel to The Rise of Skywalker. Are you guys reading this one right now? Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. Also out this week, we have Doctor Aphra issue number 38. This is part 2 of A Rogue's End. Before I get started, I think it's kind of funny how every time there's a big novel that comes out in Star Wars, it seems like that week there's also very light on the comics. And here we go again with just one comic, but that's okay because I think we had like 4 last week, so it's nice to kind of have a breather and I can spend more time reading Resistance Reborn. But that being said, we are on the last arc for Doctor Aphra, at least in this iteration. We know that they're going to be coming out with a Doctor Aphra Volume 2 starting in, I believe, April. So last we left off, we have Aphra, and she ran into her father, which is crazy because Darth Vader was there. And now we open up, Darth Vader wants to interrogate her father for seeing if the rebels were on that planet. And guess who they get to interrogate him? None other than 000. And we thought he was out of the picture for a while, but those murder droids will never be out of the picture. He's also accompanied by BT-0. But what's very interesting is that they've had their minds wiped. So literally 000 has no trace of who the heck Dr. Aphra was, which is really tragic. It's really tragic, actually. And seeing that he was picked up on the Ring of Kafrene, another nice reference to a Rogue One location, which I hope we see more of, because I always really did like that quick scene with Cassian Andor on Ring of Kafrene. But then we go and we figure out that Darth Vader wants both Dr. Aphras, right, the father and the daughter, to go on this mission to find and scout out another rebel location. They go there, they find the rebels have since left, but Darth Vader experiences this dark vision. So there's this kind of different kind of item that he finds. It's called the Martyrdom of Frozen Tears. And there's this confessional like statue thing that he slashes in half. It's made out of kyberite, but he slashes it in half with his lightsaber. But it's really cool because you see this vision of Shmi Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, you see Obi-Wan, you see Anakin, you see Padme there, all these characters, and they all have these crazy looking eyes, and it's interesting to see that Darth Vader is still having these big connections to his past, even when we're talking about a couple days probably away from where we see him in The Empire Strikes Back. So he's still going around, he's still finding these Sith relics, or whatever you want to call them. Not even sure if this is a Sith relic, to be honest with you, or just different kind of force kind of powered device, or whatever you may call it. But it's interesting to me that he reacted in such a strong way where he walks out of the room and he says, I want this place bombed. And Aphra is saying like, no, there's some stuff we need from here. And then he pits her to have this conflict between BT being able to pick one of the Aphras to kill on the shuttle on their way back. And the next thing you know, there is none other than Tolvin that breaks into the shuttle to try to find Aphra, and well, she's hiding out, and that's where this issue ends. So yeah, it was really cool how there's this one quote that I really like from Darth Vader, and he's saying, "The Empire makes its own history." And just having read Force Collector, which you could watch my review, it's coming out on November 19th, there's a lot of that in that book, where it's kind of like, you know, the Empire completely erased the history of the Jedi, and nobody even knows they really existed. They thought they were more fables. So the Empire has a way of just going and rehashing the history to make it more favorable to them. I also liked how there was this big moment between Aphra and her father, who apparently they haven't seen each other in 2 years. And it's just kind of mind-blowing to me that this Doctor Aphra series has been going on that long. We don't really think about it, but yeah, it's been going on for a long time. And the fact that she's able to kind of recount her events with her father, and her father is, you know, so proud of her with all the crazy adventures that she's just spouting out of her mouth. It's like, did she really do that? And it's like, yes, this has been a crazy story. That's what Dr. Aphra is known for, is these crazy, zany stories. So it's nice kind of recounting those adventures with her just blurting out all these different things. And it's very sad how she left Fulada alone, and she thinks that Aphra herself is just very dangerous. She doesn't want anybody that gets in contact with her gets in danger. And she doesn't want that to happen for Fulada, so she's not thinking about herself, but she's thinking about somebody else, which is a big turning point, again, for Dr. Aphra, who is really developing a lot as a character through these previous 38 issues. So that was this issue, and we have 2 left before we get to the end of this iteration of Dr. Aphra. So what did you guys think of this week's releases? Let's talk about them all in the comment section below. Next week, you guys can look forward to Star Wars number 74, as well as Jedi Fallen Order number 4, which is great because that's coming out right before the game. And we're getting Target Vader issue number 5, which I believe has 2 issues left. So that is going to do it for me, Starrapter. As I mentioned earlier in this episode, I do have my spoiler-free review for the new novel Force Collector, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. Tell me what you thought about that review, and for more on the channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, because that way you'll be kept up to speed on all my future reviews. I'm going to be doing the Mandalorian reviews, right? Because that's coming out in just a couple days. I cannot wait to talk to you guys about Mandalorian on a weekly basis. And I'm already talking to you guys on a weekly basis about Star Wars Resistance. Don't let that one fade away, because that's still a really good show. Make sure you check out those episodes. So that's going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.